As we're getting into sports, BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. You think you know your stuff? Get into the winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor pool for the upcoming season. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get a game of blackjack or poker run by with one of our over 150 slot games they have. Head to the website today and use promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here. Code BLEAV, capital BLEAV. Next is from Hank Beatty. The subject is difficult question. Hey guys, Stevie Richards was talking. Oh, this is interesting, Joe. Did you read this question already?
I did, but I haven't watched the video. I'm interested.
Hey, Stevie Richards was talking on his podcast about wrestlers showing symptoms of CTE and mental decline. He said the best example of this was Raven. Stevie's co-host is the British guy who runs wrestling shoot interviews, the same guy who continuously pushes the building misinformation about disco.
That's not misinformation.
It is misinformation. We even had Bill DeMott confirmed it was misinformation. He said that the interview with Raven. He said that the interview with Raven had to be heavily edited due to Raven's incoherent ramblings and dead air. What do you guys think about Raven and his mental faculties in the clip? Play this clip, Joe. Because this is like timeout. I want to make this is very interesting because this is now a situation very similar to the Joe Biden situation. Okay, where Raven's decline is being hid by Joe.
I'm covering it.
Joe is covering for Raven. Okay, There's a possibility here because Raven. Have you ever brought up Raven's mental decline, Joe? Has it ever been an issue with you? Yes or no?
No, but Raven has brought it up, and but I think Raven speaks like Raven speaks, and you guys would know that he does get distracted.
We'll be the judge of that. Put this up.
Okay, let's hear this clip. We'll judge Raven.
What percentage, in your opinion? I'm sure you've been to conventions, a number of conventions over the years. You speak to some of the older guys. What percentage of the guys who are in their 60s and older, just by talking to them, do you think exhibit outward signs of CTE or multiple concussion syndrome?
Well, there's guys. I haven't been to a convention in quite some time, but seeing some of the interviews and seeing the interactions, Raven would be one. Raven has been through a lot, and we don't know if it's because of the partying or any of the other stuff, but sure, in wrestling, Raven has completely sacrificed his body throughout his career, even before he became Raven with Scotty, Johnny Polo, Scotty the Body, all the things he did all the way back in Oregon to WCW, to WWE, and then, of course, ECW, and then Independence, TNA. Raven has been in some of the most violent matches, taking unprotected chair shots to the head, unprotected weapons to the head, blood, big bumps, all that stuff. So Raven, just because it's close to home, and I witnessed and been around Raven for a very long time when he was, and he's still one of the greatest minds in the wrestling business. But I particularly saw the interview that you did with him during WrestleMania weekend or week, and I could see, I was like, wow, I go, he's still Raven and he's still Scott Levy, but in some of the effects, and I'm not going to put it on you, but you were there. Did you sense or feel any of that kind of like?
Now the interview is available to the right here. Do you want to go through the interview a little bit, or just?
I want to see. He said.
What he said. Okay.
I thought it says here that
isn't there an interview here?
It says right here, Joe.
It says at 124 or something like that.
This is the clip that he sent.
Raven Talks. Oh, the Raven Talk starts at 134.
So yeah, and that's what I'm playing. I have the interview to the right, is what I'm saying. Do you want to see some of the interview to see what he's talking about?
Play a minute of it.
This is just Stevie talking, what he sent. This is the interview. Yeah.
Autotune Pro 11 is
once this gets out of the way.
Is that Dana Carvey? Looks like him, right?
Good looking fella. Here we go. So I'm going to scroll through it a little bit and we'll see. So here is Raven Portland. Let me see. Gordon Soley. Here we go. All right.
Game came out.
Oh no.
And the bartender goes, and the women went to the bathroom, and then the bartender's like, no, they had it lopped off. We're like, why did he decipher that? Lopped off. He meant that they were, transitioned.
Yes.
But suffice to say, we did not go home with them. But but not that I have anything against that. It wasn't my flavor. You know what I mean? I totally
Onslaught's MP says, what were the best and worst times of Paul Heyman?
Terrible joke. Just
Raven is definitely slowed down. However, I don't see any difference from him like the past 5 to 10 years.
No. And I've recorded with him.
I go back in time every once in a while. I'll go out to lunch and eat lunch with him, and I mean he's like that, but he's been like that for a while.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, he's not different to me, but I only known him for 5 years or so.
Yeah, he's slower than before, but it ain't like he isn't lucid. He can't put thoughts together. You know,
he's like the boxer that won a whole bunch of rounds, and later on it's
little punchy. Yeah, he took a lot. Yeah. And like Stevie Richards said, because Stevie Richards was with him on the road, we weren't. Well, we were, but he did. We hung out sometimes, but Stevie Richards was kind of like with him all the time, right? Yeah, and he, besides all the chair shots he took and all the wild, bro, he was one of the top partiers I've ever met in my life. I mean,
he also kind of looked a little bit like Joe Biden there with the hair.
Wait a minute.
I'd say just real quick.
Do you think that's a Joe Biden clone that they were talking about?
He kind of had a little Joe Bidenish in him.
Yeah,
it was a little Joe Bidenish.
Yeah.
So I would just say real quick that recording with Raven for the past few years, I think it's 5, and then you guys for 7. You guys have been through similar physical things. And Konnan, you say yourself a lot, like, let me finish this or I'll forget. Disco, you forget sometimes. I forget a lot. And Raven's Raven's Raven. He's very short attention span.
Oh, he's all over the place, right? He's always been like that.
He definitely has ADD, HD.
Yeah, but I don't see any like.
He's just a little slower, bro.
This is how wacky how wired these guys like him and Scott Hall were. Okay, Scott Hall could take 20 Xanax in a day. That's an incomprehensible number from anybody. Because you take one bar, like the full bar, and I'm out for like 18 hours. Okay,
yeah.
All right. So
want a bar?
Right. So Raven was so wired that he would have to take Adderall to go to sleep.
That's real ADD.
To sleep because his thoughts were always all over the place.
Just talking to him, bro. He jumps all over the place.
He couldn't sleep because his brain was all over the place.
Yeah.
He's been like that for.
And imagine what must have done to that, because when you're more creative and you're a deeper thought pattern. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, his brain's constantly racing and constantly thinking when he was trying to sleep, he's having trouble sleeping because he's in bed and his mind's just racing all over the place.
But I would agree with everything Stevie said there, including that he's one of the great minds in wrestling.
Now, an example, I think Konnan would agree that perhaps an example of
but I agree with you, but he's not a dumb. That's for sure. Go ahead.
All right.
An example of Raven's decline may be, in fact, that he brought me on the Raven effect and has kept me on.
The 5 years with you have got to.
Yeah, that shows a little mental. Yeah,
it's like an allergy. Like being into consuming Joe's stuff. So,
yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.